What's going on, everybody? Doc here, Average Gamer Guys, back again. Escape from Tarkov news action for you today. I've got the roadmap up. I'm going to give you the TLDR here really quick, and then we're going to jump in if you want a little bit more detail about the Tarkov TV that went on yesterday. Let's get to it. All right, so if you just want to watch the first 35.5 seconds of this video, this is everything. So this is posted on Twitter. I will probably post it in Discord if you want to go. Give us a follow over there, link in the description. This is the preliminary roadmap for both EFT and Escape from Tarkov Arena. There was a lot that was talked about in the Tarkov TV podcast today, and it essentially covers all of this stuff. Here's the big things that you want to know. There's a new trader coming in called Ref. The linkage of EFT and Arena is like a big step here. So the esports piece was always intended, or sort of intended, but really they wanted EFT Arena to be a part of the EFT universe and be a big component of the game. So all those things being said, we're going to get, there's a whole bunch of stuff related to that. You can transfer stuff, you can do a whole bunch, but it's just important to note that Arena and Escape from Tarkov, if you want the full, it feels like if you want the full experience, you're going to need to have both and play both. That's where this is going. So there's going to be some stuff in June. We're going to get new outfits. We'll show some of that later if you want to check that out, some other stuff. Unity 2022 is coming to the ETS here very quickly in June. There's going to be expansions and bonuses that we're going to get in the month of June, early June as well. In addition to PvE matchmaking improvements, there's a lot of talk around PvE. It's going to go client side if you're playing single player, which is going to be huge. It's essentially going to mean that you get into the raids instantly, just like if you were to queue up one of them now. And that's pretty big. Mods are planned. There's a whole bunch of other stuff planned. They're going to do AI improvements. They're going to do other balancing changes. You can see that here on the back end of June. So that's kind of cool. You can also pick up PvE mode as soon as that patch goes live, where it goes to client side for single player. As soon as it goes live, every other mode, you're going to be able to purchase it separately. So if you don't have it currently, you are going to be able to get it. And hopefully it's coming sometime around June or early July. There's going to be an in-game poll system. There's going to be reports for report rewards for if you report a cheater and they end up getting banned. There's some other cool stuff around that. There's a new game mode coming to EFT Arena, essentially a bomb planning mode, which looks pretty cool. There's a new map. In August is going to be the wipe. Early August is going to be the wipe. A whole bunch of technical stuff, a whole bunch of new weapons. We'll showcase a little bit of that here in just a second. More hideout expansion zones. Probably the biggest one of those is going to be like armor mannequin sets. My dog is, coughing up a hairball. Armor mannequin sets that allow for you to instant swap gear on the mannequin. So you could set the preset on the mannequin, swap it instantly with what you have on. It gives you some other stats. There's a video showcase that. Seems pretty cool. New weapons, FPS optimizations, all that stuff. And then August for Arena is also going to have a patch, which is going to bring the preset customization and system rework for presets as well. So there is a ton more, but those are the biggest things. There's also going to be, I should mention, armor updates here coming pretty soon. Armor system updates, I should say, more importantly, and that is going to simplify things. It was too complicated, is essentially what Nikita said, and that's a good thing. So if you want to hang around, that's your quick short version. That wasn't quite as short as I would hope it would have been, but there was a lot to cover in this. Let's start talking through some other stuff if you want to hang out with me, and I'll showcase some other things. So I'm going to run through Twitter here really quick and just showcase, and then there's a couple of things that I want to pull up to showcase as well. So Theta container. This is a new container that Ref, the new trader, the new Arena Link trader, is going to allow you to get by completing his quest line. It's essentially intended to be the split between the Gamma and the Kappa container. So that's kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about it. It is some extra slots. It's not perfect because it is segmented here. Whatever. But it's cool. It's an option. If you don't have an upgraded version, this might be a really, really good option for you to go and hunt down. If you're not going to try to do all of the Kappa things. I don't know. No one knows what the quest line or any of that stuff is going to be, or how long it's going to be. But imagine kind of like, I imagine it'll probably be similar to what we're having to deal with getting through like Punisher with Purpore to then get the other container. So that's just a speculation, but it is what it is. This is a screenshot, and I'll show a video here of the ability to transfer things between Arena and back and forth, essentially, to Arena and back and forth from Arena to Escape from Tarkov, so on and so forth. You can transfer money. GP coins are essentially going to turn into a currency. There is also going to be another currency, these tokens they talk about. You're also going to be able to earn these types of containers here, which they didn't showcase what was in these, but they're going to be able to earn these types of containers. You can then open them with a certain weapon or workbench that you have, probably the weapons workbench, in Escape from Tarkov, which is then going to give you access to the things inside of them. So again, GP coins, that is how Ref is going to trade purely. That's kind of interesting, kind of unique. We'll touch on that here again. Here's a screenshot of the new bomb planting mode. Here's the new Skybridge map. Here's you opening the crates. So again, you have to have, this is workbench level 3 in order to be able to do this. 5 minutes, that's kind of cool. Space-wise, we'll see. Here's new apparel. Bear. USEC. These are essentially intended to be like the, arena outfits, if you will. Which is why this guy looks like he's works for the FBI, which I think is really funny. Hideout zones. New one. Cultist hideout zone. More importantly, that was loud. More importantly, I have this one. I'll showcase this video on... actually, I'll just mute this and showcase this now. Picture in picture. This is really grainy. I apologize. Mannequin. You can essentially go and you can do equip or exchange with what you have on, and it throws everything that was on the mannequin on you, and then puts everything that you had on the mannequin. You can then quick swap it back and forth. That seems pretty cool. I just don't know if it's going to be a super used feature, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to test it out. New weapons. M60. New Funko Pop figures. These are actually really cool. I saw somebody suggest that they should manufacture and sell these. I would totally buy like the Killa one, because I think that's hilarious, or the Tagilla one. But some new stuff coming there. You got the Uzi. This looks pretty cool. More guns. We always know we're gonna get more guns. Here's the picture of this zone. This zone, it does look pretty cool. If you're gonna, maybe it replaces the weapon, the weapon rack. Maybe we can put stuff on the walls here. You have some crates. Maybe you throw some backpacks up. That'd be pretty cool. I think any option that we have to expand some storage is pretty neat. I didn't talk about this in the TLDR, but bipods and gun resting are coming to the game. And this looks pretty interesting. So reduce recoil. You saw him flip the bipod down. You can then do this. They also showed essentially weapon mounting. So being able to kind of mount to the side of a wall and get some recoil reduction as well. So this could be really interesting. This seems like a very early work in progress, but here this is essentially snapping to the wall. Lots of other games have done this. Works out pretty good if you know how to use the feature, so it could be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what happens with arm stamina while you do these things. SR3M, another new gun. Here's the roadmap. Oh, and then Chronicles of Rigi, Season 2, there's a new one here, so you should watch it. And yeah, some other stuff happened. Let's jump over to Tarkov TV Live here. I want to pop into this here really quick, and I want to scroll to just a few spots and talk about some things. So I'm going to let Nikita do some talking for me.
Okay, so let's go. The first thing is there will be a special trader. His name will be Ref, and he will be in the 2 instances. So it will be in EFT, it will be in Arena, and you will have an option to buy different kind of stuff from him. I will tell you about these special crates later. But as you can see on this special screenshot, you will have an option to transfer your earned money, GPs and stuff, and special crates that you actually will able to earn in Arena to your main account, just to transfer them. And I will show you what exactly you can do with that crates and stuff. Also, with this update, we will have new clothing So it will be based with the new trader. So we'll have an option to buy them from new trader or earn them. So they just like kind of range day clothing and everything. So basically we wanted them to be as a basic clothing for the arena gladiators. But again, right now we decided to move it to have them in EFT too. Like 2 sets of gear, 2 sets of clothing, 3 sets of clothing for each faction. Also, this is the example of assortment. I believe it's level 2 ref. As you can see, all of the stuff is for the GPs. And GP will be, of course, earned in the Escape from Tarkov arena, but also you will be able to find GPs as you can find them on the locations and everything. All the traits for the GPs from other traders moved to ref assortment. And there is a lot of things, and one of this is like a new sword, for example. Another, of course, the increased rates of GPs for the arena and everything. Also the special keys. So the trader will sell you the special keys of the specific places on the locations. So you'll be able to use these keys. These keys will be obtainable only from this trader, and there will be several special places around the EFT locations. Again, just to have this linkage, and again to move an idea that arena is a part of the EFT. So if you want something special from arena, you need to play arena, earn some stuff in there, and some ranks in there, open new assortment, level of assortment of the ref trader, and get your stuff from him. And also there will be new item called Liga, and the Liga is a unique thing that you will be, like, you will have an option only to obtain it only in arena, and this high value gear and high value stuff in there you'll be able to buy with this new medal, Liga medal. Also quests. This new trader will give you quests, different kind of quests. It will allow you to earn more GPs and stuff, and of course it will be related to the arena itself. As I mentioned just before that, you will have an option to earn special crates, arena crates, and those crates you will need to open or unlock in the hideout, and those crates will consist of different kind of gear, weapons, or items that needed for the hideout, for example. So this is again the linkage part. Also, of course, there is a huge plans for the additional linkage for arena and EFT using your own character in arena, like a fully redesigned customization of presets and everything. This also will be planned. I will tell you a little bit later. And so after the update with this linkage, let me switch back to the camera. Arena characters and EFT characters will be synchronized. So there will be synchronization of experience, character level. There will be synchronization of skills and weapon mastery. And arena skills and mastery values will be still locked, but all earned progress will be saved and transferred to EFT account, to EFT character. As I mentioned, there will be new trader ref.
So that's the down and dirty here about the arena linkage, and essentially continuing to pursue this idea that arena is a big part of the Escape from Tarkov universe. I don't know how I feel about this. I have not digested this information enough. If it's simple enough and we can complete a lot of the tasks for this character without playing a amazing amount of arena, I will be okay with it. If we end up having to play a ton of arena, I think that's going to cause some strife. We'll have to see how they do the quests and what is all concerned from that. I don't mind those folks that do end up playing that. If we can go in and play, have some fun, do some casual matches and things like that and get some bonus rewards, I do think that part would be pretty cool. Other than that, though, kind of forcing this, especially considering I feel like not many people, well, a lot of people have arena, but not everybody has arena. So they're essentially kind of pushing towards this idea that at least a portion of this will be inaccessible. Now, I think the trades and some of that other stuff related to the trader themselves will still be accessible by finding GP coins normally. So that part is pretty good. There might be some other arena related events. I think for me, I need to see some other arena modes that I would be more inclined to play. The 5v5 is fine, it's fun. The bomb destroy search mode will, maybe be pretty cool. But there are some other modes that I would absolutely love to see that I think would get me more into Arena. So let me know your thoughts down below, but that's just the down and dirty of it. Jumping into a couple other things. Let me take a look at my notes. Cover that quest line. I talked about this really briefly, but PvE, they recognize the challenge with essentially the matchmaking. I have not personally even tried to get into PvE yet. I'm going to probably attempt that here very soon. They say about 70% of the player base is loading into PvE alone, and that's why they decided to basically move to putting that onto the client for you loading into it in single player mode. If you have to log into friends, you're then going to obviously have to go to their servers and use an instance where you can do that with your buddies, and that seems perfectly reasonable. When they do that patch and allow that, or essentially make that technical change, that is when other people will be able to buy it. You'll essentially be able to buy it regardless of the version that you have. That part's pretty cool. Unity 2022 armor update. They're going to simplify it. There was a little section I'm not going to play for you, but essentially talked about how the armor zones and a whole lot of the stuff was just too, it was realistic, but it was too difficult. Plus they added the new hitboxes in, and that caused a lot of problems. So they're going to simplify the armor system. They're also going to essentially increase plate size on many of the different zones, specifically front and back, and help to protect some of the other areas. He's not a fan of how it's been difficult to navigate in terms of where you're supposed to shoot. So that is what it is. They recognize it's a problem. They're going to fix it. We'll see. We've gotten updates like this before, and it has been great, but cool. Polls are going to be in the game. Nostalgia quest line is something else that they talked about. This is essentially going to be the quest line that gives you the Unheard Edition bonuses, extra pocket size, and anything else that they get. If you did not upgrade or you have a more basic version of the game, you'll be able to complete that quest line. You'll be able to get that stuff. That's cool. That's a W. Report cheaters, get rewards. They talked about that. Current flea market is staying. Current flea market is staying. They don't have any plans to change it. They like it, or Nikita likes it well enough that the not found in raid status not being required is going to stay. So rejoice if you enjoy that. They're going to do a hideout cap. That's pretty cool. They have designed or are working on designing a hardcore mode. You could do that on your own, but cool. Wipe, early August. Early August is going to be the next major patch. Going to be focused very much on quality of life and improvements to the game. But we're going to go ahead and we'll get some other stuff, guns and some things. Cultist jacket is coming as part of that wipe. From what I heard, you can be able to flip the hood up. That should be pretty cool. New hideout zones. We showed a few of those things. Bipods and weapon mounting. We talked about that. Let me jump to that section just in case there's anything else there to showcase really quick.
The bipod mechanic. Right now it's work in progress. It will be changed, but so you'll have an option to use bipods and to stick your weapon to the. And it's not only limited to the bipods. We also have an option to stick in your weapon to the side of the walls. It will also give you in decreased recoil, like you place your arm towards the wall. Good, really good.
So that's pretty interesting to me. Just from the perspective that they've done a lot with recoil changes. And again, we've seen that a lot in other games. So that part is kind of neat. I'm curious to see how that plays out, but it's definitely a feature that I think could be pretty cool in implementation if done correctly. Let's talk about a handful of other things. Tripwires and landmines are coming. You're going to be able to landmine or tripwire or set up booby traps on both containers as well as dead bodies. There's going to be a new boss. That boss is going to be the boss that lays mines and tripwires. You're going to be able to defuse these things. So you are going to be able to do and take the time to be able to defuse them. This new boss is going to be the boss that also hunts players due to PMC karma. So that part is really interesting. He did specifically mention if you sit in a bush for too long near an extract zone, it's going to reduce your karma. They said they're going to release the PMC karma system essentially without telling anyone for first iteration of it, and just let people figure it out. And then he said data miners are going to find it all out anyways. So that is what it is. One more section I think is really important just to showcase and to hear is going to be about sound. So let's jump into this one here really quick.
For that systems. Pretty big list of audio changes also. Detailed work on environmental sounds on locations. Optimization of the sound system for performance, refinement of the occlusion calculation algorithm. Adjustments of balance for active headsets. I know that you're constantly asking about this balancing thing. It will be in the game. Adjusting the radius of audibility of movement sounds depending on speed, surface types, and player position. And balancing AI and PMC voice volumes. The performance
All right,
part.
so jumping back in here, I think that's important. Sound has been one of those things that has just been absolutely horrendous in my opinion. Needs to get fixed. It sounds like they understand that they need to work on that. They're also going to be doing some tuning to headsets and some of the skills related to that. They mentioned that I think a little bit earlier, so kind of an important note. Two last things that I have for you here. At 125, he talks about scavs. I just want folks to hear it from the man himself, because I think this part is really important. This is one of the questions that came up pretty consistently.
Scav into a random map. Most likely, there will be a change for the scav gameplay that you won't be able to choose location for the scav gameplay. But if you have a really high reputation with the fans, you will have an option to select that.
I actually really like this change. This is one of those things that I think it gets abused, I think, on purpose for a lot of times. People that get really familiar with the game, I think it also is a really good reward up at the upper tiers of fence to be able to grind that rep and then be able to get that extra reward where you can then go into the maps and pick which one you want. I think is really cool. I've seen this suggestion a lot. I think this would also help for scavs being a little bit more balanced across locations. They can then probably find a way to be able to do that hopefully makes a lot more sense. And then you can't just go and farm a whole bunch of raider gear and a whole bunch of stuff at the very beginning of a wipe unless you spend some time working through fence and getting them upgraded. So I really like that. You're going to be able to wipe PvE on your own. They're not going to plan wipes for that, but you can wipe PvE on your own, and that's a big one. There's two other things that I just want to touch on here really quickly. Right now, there is an event going on, and the other piece of this is bosses have gotten a big jump increase in their spawn locations. The event going on right now is over on Shoreline. All of the bosses are there. You have a quest from, I believe, Jaeger to be able to kill them all. If you do end up doing that quest, you actually get every key for Shoreline and the resort, which is pretty wild, as well as a sick case. So we're definitely going to be giving that a go, and boss spawn increases across the rest of the maps for all of their normal locations. So if you have any boss hunting quests you need to go do, you're going to be able to go do that. I think the last thing that's important to note is that they talked about achievements are going to stay consistent through wipes and their progress. So they talked about that's something that's a work in progress, but essentially if you complete an achievement this wipe, you're not going to have to go then and complete that achievement in future wipes. They also talked about some of the things being able to be progressive through different wipes. That part I think is more of the work in progress, but they are working on it. So that was a whole lot of info. I hope you enjoyed this. There's a whole lot more. You can go check out this VOD if you want over on Twitter or on Twitch, excuse me. You can go and jump into Twitter to take a look at some of the other stuff that they got going on. But again, coming back to the roadmap, get your plans ready. Lots of stuff coming for Arena and a whole ton of stuff coming for EFT here in the month of June and July, and then we get a big wipe in August, which is the big thing. So let me know what you think. We are having a ton of fun grinding through, getting some stuff done on both our hardcore and our solo standard playthrough account called The Escape. So if you want to check that out, if you're just popping into this, we post multiple videos of that every week, so be sure to check that out. We're also going to be doing some other content on the channel here on the weekends coming up, diving into some other games. So if you're interested, we do appreciate my flash some socials, like I'm subscribed to the YouTube thing, trying to get to 10K. We also just really appreciate the support, and we love chatting with you down below in the comments. So let me know what you think. If you had an opportunity to watch Tarkov TV, there's probably some other stuff that I missed, but this preliminary roadmap is pretty good. Hopefully they can stick to the timeline. Some stuff will get pushed, as it always does. Probably won't get everything that's on here, but if we get a decent majority, I will finalize just to say that I do appreciate. It seems very much of all of the Tarkov TVs I have watched, and I have watched quite a few of them since being a fan, starting to make content for this game. This one felt the most that the player base was heard from out of all of the ones we've had before. They seem to be very, very open to the changes. They're keeping the changes. The no FIR requirement for the flea market is huge. I honestly didn't think that was going to stay. So I'm interested to see. They're getting a lot of feedback. Nikita multiple times throughout the Tarkov TV thanked everybody for supporting the game, but also thanked them for all the suggestions and comments and questions to help to kind of drive the development and shape the game to be what it is currently and hopefully in the future. So we shall see. I'll stay skeptical, but so far things in the recent memory have been going the right direction. But we'll wrap it up here. I'm Doc, Average Gamer, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.